Everyone, and welcome again to the chat. You're probably wondering why I'm a bit dressed up with a nice shirt on and a blazer. A little bit relaxed. The reason why is because we're going to look at racing from a bit of a fashions on the field perspective today. As you guys may know, I've competed quite a few times over the years and done reasonably well in the country, not in the city. In the city, it takes too long. I like missing races. I want to enjoy my day. And joining me today from Thoroughbred Events Australia is Sharon Lenton. G'day, Sharon. How are you?
Hi, Ben, and thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be on your show, and congratulations on all your success.
No worries at all. Thank you very much, and congratulations to you on your success too. I must say, you are a bit of a big player in fashions on the field. You successfully run a lot of the days in country New South Wales, don't you?
I do. I've been really fortunate, and I have to say I love it. The committees themselves and the directors and the CEOs, they're just amazing. It's such a whole different feeling. We're still in that very much a country community feel, and I usually go for a couple of days. So they always have something on the night before, and it's really lovely going back to the same ones that I host, because then you get to see the regulars, and they're just so welcoming. I've got a great one coming up in December, so very excited about it all.
What is it do you think that makes country racing probably more real and genuine to the city? No disrespect, we both go to the city tracks.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not disrespectful. They are different. Like the city is like, you are further away from the action. You are seeing the elite of racing, and then therefore you're seeing like the top stud farms and the top owners and the top, which is fantastic. But when you get to the country, you are so close. And the community always get behind their local racetrack, and they are owners, and they do go in fashions on the field, and they do bring a picnic basket, and they do get so excited, and they're very friendly, and there's just a real buzz about the day. Not to say that there's not a buzz about the day at the cities, of course there is, but the country is where it's really the soul, and the average person is an owner, and the average person is there having a really good day out, their day. So it's great to see them get behind it.
You mentioned owners. Are you an owner yourself? Do you currently have any shares in?
Oh, yes, and it's growing. So I started the Thoroughbred Girls because there was a group of us that have been racing for a very, very, very long time, and we wanted to get into ownership. So I started the Thoroughbred Girls. We've got now 7 horses all over the place. So we've got 2 in Melbourne and 5 in Sydney and Newcastle and Wyong. So it's a group of girls. We all get together and we have a maze day out when we actually, and so far I have to say we have been lucky. We have raced group level. We have had the highs. We haven't really had too many lows. We even won the Coffs Harbour Cup, not last year, the year before. Unfortunately, because of COVID, we'd be there, and I go every single year. So it was really upsetting to not be there and then win it. But I had phone calls, and I was out celebrating, and all my girlfriends who live in Harbour all rang, and they're showing me the ticket that they'd won. So it was really exciting. Yeah, but back to the question. 7 horse, so having a lot of fun, a lot of babies because it's been growing, and a lot of Magic Millions. Yes, I know you and I, Ben, we love our Magic Millions, and the women's bonus is a huge incentive for women to get involved.
Talk about that women's bonus. I mean, you only have to look at the likes of the All About the Girls syndicate, which is all the big players, Sue Ann Cor, Elaine Lawler, all that kind of stuff. Is your syndicate what those girls are trying to do? Like Global Glamour, I remember that one in Caulfield over Spring Carnival a couple of years ago.
We're just a group of girls that we love racing, and we all catch up, and then we just decided, okay, it's time to get into horses, and it's just grown. And I get asked a lot of the times, have you got something coming up? We want to go into a horse. One of our horses, we've got just our section alone, we've got 33 girls involved. So I'll have to check up what the other girls are doing, but this is what we do. It's a bit of fun, and we have a great day out.
Back on fashions on the field, how has it changed over the years? It certainly, it seems like sometimes it's kind of not always about the fashion. It seems to be about a lot of other things as well now too. It's always different dynamics, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It really is, Ben. But maybe we don't touch on it all. But let's go back to what it used to be. I had a bit of a thought, thinking about this, and like, what is it that's different today than it was when I first started competing? And all of us actually went to the races, and we were there for the horses. And they used to come around and give you a card and invite you to go in. So I thought that was one thing that was really noticeably different. And now, like, the prize pool's just huge. And it really is an incentive for women who, even if you don't like the races, you spend a whole day in Fashions on the Field. I think sometimes you really have to work out, what do I want to do? Do I want to go to the races, or do I want to go in Fashions on the Field? So it does have two different dynamics now. So I like, again, going back to the country, when I'm doing the country, you can actually turn around and you can watch the horses, and the horses are going past me right behind me. So I don't feel like I miss out on anything. Where the city ones, I used to go and film and interview and take photographs, and I struggle. I'm there for the horses. And it's just like, it's too much time. It's a business nearly. Those girls look incredible, and the amount of work and time that goes into it is amazing. It's gone away from just going to the races and then, I might just pop into Fashions on the Field. It's a real case of, I'm going to Fashions on the Field, and that's my day.
Like Melbourne Cup Week, for example, like I know you love coming down every year, and I love it too, because of course I do live here in Melbourne. But you're exactly right. It's very hard. Like, I try to, across the 4 days, this is pre-COVID, I go up at least for a half an hour during a given day and say hello to all the girls and the guys who are doing it. And then, the reason why is because I don't like to miss races, and and you've got so many people to see, things to do. As you know yourself, Melbourne.
Oh my goodness.
How do you fit everything in?
Well, I was a member of the VRC for 28 years straight, and I did not miss one carnival. And so I'll talk about how I used to feel, because now Melbourne Cup Day is my biggest day, where I get asked to run Fashions on the Field country. And for the last 5 years, unfortunately, I'm not a VRC member anymore because I'm always working. It doesn't mean I'm not going to get down to Melbourne, because I've got 2 horses down there, so I'm looking forward to that. But going back to Melbourne Cup, what a week. Like, the adrenaline. I just used to get excited going to the airport. Like, I'd be packing for nearly a week. You'd have your suitcase out and you'd be packing, making sure you don't miss out on anything. And the events that were on, like, there was ladies' lunches, there were drinks everywhere. Like, everyone was down there and everyone had organised something. So I used to always do a spreadsheet and go, right, I'm going to this event, and what am I wearing, and can I fit this in? And it was a real, like, I did a spreadsheet. It was just incredible, and I never regret any of my my Melbourne Cup days. They were loads of fun, and anyone who hasn't been to a Melbourne Cup carnival, you have to go. There is just nothing like it, really. It is definitely the race that stops the nation.
Charity and giving back to the community are both passions of yours. Can you tell me a bit about that side of your life, please?
Yeah. Well, I've been involved in racing for all up now. I don't even know. I don't know, 34 years. I can't even put a figure, something like that. And it's always the horses that are magnificent. They're an incredible species there. And we go to the races and we've made money on it. We've punted on it. We spent a fortune getting our outfit. But when I started doing it, there was very little. Let's say there were a couple of things, but there were very little where the horse was actually being looked after racing. I mean, of course they had a home. I'm not saying that, but there was a lot of negative things that I was being sent about horses being in sale yards. And again, I don't want to talk on that too much, but we saved for and we funded the whole lot. So from the Thoroughbred Events Australia events, we always raised money and we were always giving to a charity. But then I just went, can't give it to another charity. I want to give it back to the horses and try and do as much as I can, even with the small funds that we have, just see what we can do to make sure that they're acknowledged. People will go out and buy them. And if we could showcase them and show how versatile they are, then people will get them as a horse and buy them from the track or be given them from the track. I think as long as they're going to a good home, I think it's fine. But, I've been sent stories about when you give horses away where they've ended up. I won't touch on that too much because it's quite disturbing and very upsetting. But I just had to give back. There was no way I could feel comfortable anymore going to the races and spending the money that you spend and then not giving it to them, because they're just amazing animals and I just love them so much. And if I'm part of their world, well, then I've got to make sure that we look after them, as much as we can.
And Thoroughbreds I Go, for example, on Sky Racing, that show that Caroline Sears does. That
Yeah.
showcases
Yeah.
in what, and I think we need to see more of that. The stuff that Caroline's doing it's just great. I watch it every week.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. But when I started, there wasn't anything like that around. So it's so great to see the progress and what's going. And like I'm heavily involved in polo now. We do, we've been sponsoring polo in the city, and that's right around Australia. So as soon as we get back to going back to Australia, we'll be sponsoring everyone around Australia. I also do Windsor Polo. So that's going to launch. We've now got a deal with them for a couple of years, and we'll be promoting and sponsoring all the off-the-track horses and having teams. And, it's a great day out. Two totally different events. One's really dressed up. The other one is really casual. But we've been bringing fashions on the field there and stomping the divots and dash for the champagne. And so, no, it's been really good getting involved and doing lots of things and seeing the progress of how the horses are now being accountable, which is great. So I'm really applauding both. I think Victoria led the way. I think New South Wales is starting to do a great job. And I think Queensland's just jumped on board and they're doing a bit, but there's so much more to do. We just can't let these poor horses, slip through the crack.
What is it about racing and related industries that motivates you to keep going? Because you're like an Energizer bunny.
That's what I say about you.
Every time I see your social media, you're always doing something. What motivates you? I
know. I think the industry is incredible. And to think that, I'm not a multi-million-dollar business. I work for a law firm full-time, and then I fund myself to do what I love. And I think it is such a passion. The passion is, one, the horses. I think, again, they're incredible. The friendships that you build, like I've got so many amazing thoroughbred girls now, and we go to the races together, and we take tables at various charity events. And, I feel that we're making a difference. And I think that was one of the things I wanted to do. I just didn't want to exist in this world and then die. I wanted to see, what can I do to make a difference? Even if it's tiny, I just felt I had to do something. So I think the drive for me is leave a mark. I think everyone should find something in their life that they're passionate about and leave a mark.
Regrets, and we don't want that for anyone, do we?
No. And there's so much you can do to get involved. Like I've got ambassadors all over Australia now, and they're all trying to look at what they can do to help the industry, how they can help their race club, how they can help the horses, how they can help each other. I think it's really beautiful, and I love that. We started as a very tiny group. So there's Thoroughbred Events Australia, which is huge, and then there's the Thoroughbred Club, which is the charity side, and then I've got the Thoroughbred Girls. Now, the Thoroughbred Girls was just a private, tiny little group that was just us for the horse racing, but it's exploded. That we've got over 2,000 girls all talking and all getting involved and being part of not fashion. They do like fashion, but it's not that. It's buying the horses. It's going to the races. It's going to charity lunches or charity dinners, and it's really I feel that these women are of huge substance, and I love them all, and I love my ambassadors. So I think I'm very lucky.
And one of your ambassadors, who I know very well too, and has been a previous guest on my show, is Ros Berkner in Queensland, and she's a big part of the Magic Millions as a bid spotter. I must say, Magic Millions has come up, and seriously, my heart's racing just talking about it.
I know.
The year, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, doesn't it, Sharon?
It does. I've been going, I keep showing my age by saying I don't know how long. It's over 20 years, and it's been really upsetting to have missed the last two because of COVID. But I believe it's all systems go. I will be there. We've got actually, I don't even know them. I've got to start counting up the girls that we've got going, but we're all going where we want to share in another horse. We like to have one each year coming from the Magic Millions. We've already talked to Sam Carbonaro, which is fantastic, and he's organising a day for us to, go around with him in the sale yard and see what he's looking for. We've already bought two this year from him, and we're having a lot of fun with Sam. So we're another horse coming. So looking forward to it. And yes, bigger and better. And you know what I'm also finding? Yes, there's lots of ladies' lunches that you can go to, but I'm loving the carbine lunch. I know you and I have been to the Carbine lunch
fantastic.
together.
I love it.
I love it. I saw it's been moved to Monday, so I've got to go to that. And then they've got the polo now, which, wow. I'm trying to work out what I do. So I'm so used to being in a VIP marquee, and it's like I can't get a start. But I know they've got another marquee store, so it looks like I might have to go there. I fly in on the Sunday to make sure I get to the polo, so I'll just work out. I think I will take the marquee. What else is there? There's, besides all the lunches, we're organising drinks nearly every day with the girls. We'll be at the sale yard. We're going to
there. I'm at the sales every day. You know
I know. I will see you there. And then we've got Roz on the Friday. There's the Carbine Calcutta
Thursday,
dinner.
the Calcutta, the Thursday night. I'll be at the Calcutta.
Is it Thursday night? I know. I think it's Friday night. Thursday. Did they move it? That's the one that Roz is the. She does all the. It's the dinner.
It's the Thursday night at the Turf Club. No, the Calcutta is always the Thursday night.
Okay. Oh, no. There must be another one. There must be another dinner on the Friday night.
Calcutta on the Thursday night, the Calcutta.
Okay, well, I have to look up that one. Maybe I'm going to. I'm sure Roz is hosting it, so we're taking a table at that.
She doesn't always host the Calcutta, but she comes into the Calcutta on the Thursday night. They get some of the.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm booking the Friday. I'll have to look into your one as well. I'll have to look into the Calcutta. But isn't it busy? Look at this already. Got to get that Excel spreadsheet out.
and even though you look at it now, it's a $10 million race day, and it's not just the one race day anymore. It's a Saturday wave race day, and that's been added to the calendar in the last couple of years. And I reckon that's amazing, because if you have a horse that isn't directly qualified yet, and you race on that wave day and you win, some of those races are wild cards. So it's great. The week, I'll say it again, the week just keeps getting bigger and bigger. I'll say it again, doesn't it?
Are you going to Saturday?
I'm going to the Saturday before as well. Yeah, I'll be at the wave race day as well. I'm going to everything.
Oh, my goodness. No, I'm going Sunday to Sunday. I don't know if I can extend it anymore. No, my flight's already booked and my accommodation all done. But that just means the carnival's getting longer. It's not only getting bigger, it's getting longer.
It's like that.
Oh, wow. I've got more outfits.
Yep. So away from your job working for a law firm and your Thoroughbred Events Australia and Thoroughbred Girls and everything, what does Sharon Lenton like to do in her spare time, if you do get any?
And that's exactly right. There is no spare time. I think I live and breathe and racing. I just love it. If I had spare time, if I don't go to the races, then I'm organising, which local pub can I go to, who's coming, get a group of people together. And then if I'm at home and I'm through the week, I'm looking for sponsors for the fashions on the field around the country. I'm organising my ladies' lunches, which I do 2 of those a year. So I'm about to start getting that sorted. We're doing a documentary from Shoalhaven, which I'm really excited about. It's the first time anything like that been done. So I'm with an independent filmmaker, Hannah Brooks, and they're putting together this first one, and hopefully it'll be submitted around not only Australia, around the world to all film festivals. But she's hoping that we might be able to get a series going. So fingers crossed it happens. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be looking behind the scenes of fashions on the field as well as country racing. So it's showcasing the race club, it's showcasing the town, but mostly going behind the scenes and looking at the passion, the drive behind these women and what do they do behind fashions. And that's why we had a casting call. We got some great applicants and it was really hard to get down to. We chose 4. So we're pretty excited to be showcasing their stories. But then we're on the day, we'll have lots of people as extras, I guess, because we're just hoping to get as many fashions on the field girls down there as possible. So to make the documentary look really good and fingers crossed it's successful. So no spare time.
I must say, that sounds really exciting, and I've seen a couple of your social media posts about it, because I don't think there's ever been a documentary that's sort of shown fashions on the field. I mean, you see it during on TV, but they don't really talk about the stories away from the stage, do they?
No. Or they get the winner and they kind of talk about how they put their out together. But we're delving into their drive. What is it that they're passionate about? What do they do? So probably shouldn't say too much, but I'm going to give you one example that we actually she chose a school teacher because she's a young girl on the up. So she's not a everyday fashions on the field girl. She's just new to the fashions on the field. So this is her release. So she goes and she teaches, and then she's just starting out in the fashions on the field world. Now she may not win. She could win, but she may not. The casting wasn't about the girls winning. It's about their story, and it's behind the scenes. So yeah, as I said, I'm really excited to be involved with it. There's a lot of work going involved. We're trying to get funding, which is always hard. I think, especially at the moment, country racing or community, I think they've struggled because of COVID, and there's not a lot of money around for them. So I hope that if this is successful, that there is money, and tourism should go to those towns. So hopefully we showcase it in the right tone and the right mood to make people go. And as you know, the racing community, they follow their horses wherever they are. So they're always traveling around, that you could end up at any racetrack. So I think it's important to show that there's all these different country tracks around Australia.
Looking good for a day at the track is always important, Sharon, for males and females. What are some tips you give everyone? Not necessarily for fashions on the field, but just to make sure you look decent for a day at the track.
I'm a big person for saying necklines up, hemlines down. I don't mean that all the way up, but there is nothing worse, I think, than when women don't appreciate or respect racing. I think a day at the races is all about being a woman or a lady. So I think you should dress up and respect racing. That, to me, that's so important. You aren't at a nightclub. You are going to the races for a whole involved, for millions of reasons. So respect it. That's my number one. I think for men, I think it's easy for men, but I've been really loving how men dress these days. There's just been this acceleration of trendy, like they're trendy now. They're not just in a suit. There's lots of mix and matches, and the guy that won the Melbourne Cup this year, I just thought looked amazing colour. Like we've never seen colours like that in looking great. You've always seen the crazy people out there in those outrageous outfits, but I just thought that was so nice to see some colour. I just think the men are really lifting their game in fashion now. For women, I'm just all about elegant. I love class. I love seeing someone try their hardest to look good. And I'll keep going back. Just respect racing. It's an amazing sport, and dress appropriately.
Lenton, thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed it. All the best.
Thank you.